Susan Kavanaugh is the founder and president of KavCom Conscious Communications, LLC, a 23-year-old company. KavCom creates success for organizations through education about conscious business. Clients include multiple nonprofits and many companies focused on business as a force for good. A former employee and ministerial candidate for the Unity Movement, Susan now coaches executives on overcoming barriers to conscious communications. She is also a recent co-founder of Shift Co., a global movement to elevate business and shift humanity through conscious business practice. Welcome, Susan, for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Doreen. It's so nice to see you as usual.
Yes. Well, in this expert series, I'm focusing on anxiety and confidence and how people find their way through anxiety to confidence. And so the question today is, what's working for the clients that you work? Let's say strategies that help people deal with anxiety and find their way to a more confident, I guess, sense of being.
I understand what you're asking. It's what so many people feel before they do any speaking. And I believe that some of the best teachers are those that really know from experience. And so I teach strategies that I designed for myself as I was going through a very interesting process. I actually have a secondary education certification in speech to teach it. And I worked for many years as a broadcast journalist, and I had no fear whatsoever of public speaking as long as I had a script in front of me. And that may be the case for a lot of the executives that I'm working with.
Yes.
Where they are so scared that they're going to go off script or somebody may catch their attention and then they lose where they are. And it's sort of something that goes beyond confidence even. They can be confident but still have that happen. And so what I went through, and you may remember, I'm deeply spiritual. And you did mention that I worked with Unity for a very, very long time. And I found that once I broke through the barriers of the myths that I had created about myself as a person, the stories that I always told people about my life, once I busted through and found the real me, which is what I help my clients do, whatever the story is that they've made up for themselves about their lives that they've told people, we really dig through and just, get through it, find what the real story is and what they really care about. And I had to do that on a spiritual journey. I had to move past all these exterior personas and masks and different things that I was wearing. And I finally, once I met the authentic me and began living consciously, I was able to speak from a place that was just beyond, because the voice that was coming through me was no longer really my voice, except it was me connected to God. And I didn't need a script. And I was so attuned with my higher power that whatever it was that I was speaking about, I was able to do it in a very relaxed manner. It did not matter what the topic was. I had no fear, and script or no script. So as I mentioned, that I think some of the best teachers are those who have gone through experience. That's what I do with my clients. And truly it is a spiritual journey to look at the stories of your life and to kind of bust through those and really drill down to the core of who you are as an authentic being, and to really embrace that person, and to be highly conscious of what your greatest wishes, your heart's desires, what you truly, truly believe regarding yourself as an empowered being, and how you might connect with the universal flow or God, however you perceive your higher power to be, and to relax into that, to breathe, to just embrace, and to say to yourself, I am enough. Because truly what we're saying to ourselves is, God and I are one, and that is enough. And what you want to say will come to you. And it takes a while to work with my clients to help them understand this process. And it's not always what I'd call a spiritual journey for those who I work with, but it is a matter of breaking down those masks and those personas and the thoughts that we have about ourselves, that we try to project, these images that we have about ourselves, and we try to live up to, especially executives. And in the nonprofit organizations where I do a lot of consulting, these individuals are oftentimes really heart-based, heart-driven folks, but they do feel that because they're the executive director or the CEO, that they have to have a certain front to themselves that's kind of presented to the world as somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. And you have to let go of that perfection, and you have to let go of thinking that you can project that perfection, because the people that are going to listen to you, the people who you're going to speak with, and the people who are going to look at you and say, that's somebody who's really confident, they are the ones that are going to be looking for the real you. So we do it through a variety of different methods. We do it through journaling, we do it through conversations and coaching, and we do it through practice. And I serve as an audience, and sometimes we bring in employees that they feel trust with, who they can speak in front of. And the more you do it, the more you understand. And it just becomes a very settled and very peaceful experience. And there's so much pride and so much happiness and so much profit that these individuals who are asking for money experience and make manifest in their lives. But I think that those are the real strategies that work for my clients. Being able to drill down, being able to throw off all the facade, being able to say, this is the real me, perfect or not. And people are looking for the real me. And I love it. And I feel so blessed to be able to work with a variety of clients that I have, and the individuals who I meet in my life, because they're all angels to me. And I recognize the divinity in them, just like I recognize that in you.
Yeah.
And so I am very grateful to tell you how we do it here at KavCom.
Uh-huh. Yes. In fact, just listening to you, there's a way in which I go into that more relaxed state. And I think you're modeling and you're representing what you are talking about. Like when an executive or just anybody that happens to be working with you can listen to you, it's almost like the teaching gets infused. And yes, you've got techniques, but certainly it's like, hello in there, I see you, is what I get from you. You could come
And
out now.
yes, and then it's important, I think, for anybody to be able to trust who they're working with, and So there's that listening skill that you also have to incorporate as a coach or a trainer, so that you really hear what your client is saying that they need.
Mhm.
And in doing that, you can create a relaxed and embracing environment. So the energy changes, your energy changes. You merge your energy with the other person. And it may sound wooey hooey to a lot of people out there, but it's so real. I mean, the scientific studies show us that we do have energy in between all those atoms and the molecules, and
Mhm.
there's something that's vibrating there. And I know I feel it when you walk into a room and you're with somebody who's relaxed versus somebody who's anxious.
Yeah, yeah. And the way in which I feel like you guide is by knowing what that path is, and that all the techniques that some of the techniques that you talked about, like journaling and
Mm-hmm.
really inquiring and going down deep to face yourself and to ask your heart, what is it? Who are you really? And to claim that, I think is what I'm getting from you too. Just how you do, not only what you do, but how you do it. And I think that's so important, is to be with somebody who is, that you can trust, that you can say, okay, show me, I'll just follow and I'll do it, but
Yes.
let me make sure that I trust you. And it's really wonderful, Susan, to feel that, to get to know you better like this, and to just see the fullness and the depth of the work that you do with people. Yeah.
Thank you, Doreen. And I know how very successful you are with what you do. And I think people are so blessed to know you. And I feel the same way. The first couple of times we met and we talked,
Yes,
I just melted into who you were.
you're right.
And that's what I want people to be able to do when they're with me as well.
Yeah.
Just melt into those big, loving arms of
Yeah.
acceptance.
And possibility, just that's what I'm getting to,
Yeah.
is that I think you and I do believe in what's possible, and it's very strong as a motivator to help people see beyond what they're, what you talked about, their stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because the inner self, the real self, the conscious self
Mm,
is more powerful and more um, life changing than any aspect of an individual until they actually get there and they find that and they can love that about themselves. And to go beyond the word trust me, it's them trusting them.
yes.
Once they understand trust and they understand comfort and they melt into those big arms of embracement,
Mhm.
then they start trusting themselves. And that's where you can go out on the tight wire and you're not afraid. You
Mhm.
can let go of that trapeze from one swing to the next and not even be afraid of falling, because
Yeah.
you know that if you fall, who cares? It's okay. You bounce right back up and you trust yourself.
Yeah.
So
Resilience, for sure. Yeah.
resilience is a good word.
Yeah.
And boy, that's certainly something we need now during this time of the COVID restrictions and the impact that so many of the groups that are going out and protesting and speaking
Mhm.
their voices now.
Mhm.
Um, there's a resilience that we see in human beings that if we can draw upon that in ourselves before we do any public speaking, I think that um, there's just no turning back. It's like
Mhm.
once you go through that door and you believe in yourself and you're conscious
Mhm.
and you're awake to it, you can't go back.
Well, that's a beautiful final note. So again, thank you so much for participating on my
Oh,
showcase here. You are an expert.
Oh gosh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I really, really enjoy talking about this subject because it's
Uh,
so important for so many people. And
mhm.
I just say salute to you and good luck with all that you're doing because of the difference that you make in people's lives. So thank you, Doreen.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Bye.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.